Hey, it's Pops. And, you know, have you ever just been angry about something and you don't realize how angry you are until much, much later? Well, that's what this video is. Zainab Akhtar last week got Frank Miller canceled, and it is bugging me and bugging me. And the further down the rabbit hole I go, the more I find, the more frustrated I get. And that's what we're going to talk about. All right. So first things first, let me hop over and show you a little bit about what had happened last week that I wrote about and covered over on the Tampa Dispatch site for you. So here is this image. That's the promotional image that was supplied. Basically, Zainab Akhtar, she is not even an independent, she's a very, very small-time publisher, basically had posted on Twitter organizing a boycott against the comic book legend Frank Miller. They're supposed to attend a comic book artist convention in, I believe, Leeds in the UK. And he was being called a Islamophobe because in 2011 he wrote Holy Terror. And she had posted about this, asking for everybody to boycott. And she used Twitter. This is the Twitter post that she did. And then Thought Bubble, the name of the convention, basically was asked to respond. They worked it out, and basically Frank Miller decided not to go. And in short, basically she didn't feel safe, and that this Holy Terror, anti-Al-Qaeda 9/11 themed comic book somehow meant he hates Muslims, and she wouldn't go. And that's what led to all this nonsense. I did this video on this last week as well. And it is just, I don't know. It is a very frustrating thing to see. Sorry, let me hit the right screen. It's just a frustrating thing to know that someone could have that much power. And so this is what she looks like. And what I heard is, this is from Just Some Guy. He did a video. This is a 2017 video that she had raised questions about another convention, that they were too white. So he did this video, and this is it. This is the monster that I'm talking about. That's Zainab, and she is evil. She is evil. I'm really sorry if that offends you, but that's pretty much where we've gotten to. And I want to show you what else I found. So this is another post that she did. This is an interview that she did. This actually predates all of that. Let's see. This is Comic Books Reporter interview. This is actually 2014. So this is her in 2014. And in here, there's different samplings. This is the type of artwork that we're talking about, different things that she's interested in. And down here at the bottom, I want to get to how she feels about things. And this is further down. Here we go. All right. Yeah, here we go. So the question had to do with, do you think there's value in writing about something that could have been done differently? Are there basic accepted tracks for criticism more generally, ways of writing about art that you have less interest in pursuing is what I think it's supposed to say. She makes reference to this, talking about, that every single issue can be a focal point. She talked about Miss Marvel, the focus on religion, and some people were frustrated about her being Islamic. And I think this is all misguided because Miss Marvel is just a horrible character. And she's contrasting that with the Midas flesh. This is that issue, and this Muslim female is black, and that there's no real outrage, right? No one's mad that she's a pilot. Her humor, her intelligence, it's all perfectly done, and that's how it goes. Now she references another film called The Raid, and then she goes, and that's a film coming from the world's largest Muslim population, meaning Indonesia. And it seems to me the thinking is that In order for this character to sell you, you have to sell it to the associated demographics. Lady, here's a strong female character. And yes, you want to read those. You want to support those titles, but you also don't want to be defined by it. We're all human first, unless you're Frank Miller. So negotiating that, I know that any of this makes sense. I go around within my head. Someone says, until there's equal representation, there's a need for positive stereotyping. I understand that, but it frustrates and saddens me that there is still a need after all this time. We should have been moved past this years ago. If there's a basic accepted way of writing about comic books, I'm not aware of it. I want you to think about that. This is the girl, the woman, who said, Frank Miller, the man that brought us Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One, 300, Sin City, many other, the classic Daredevil runs, like Born Again, created Elektra in the Daredevil comic book. I mean, there's just, yeah, this is where we're at. Okay. I guess those uncomics wouldn't understand what an expressive loose line it is or how coloring works. We want to keep tricking them into reading graphic novels. I should read less time on Twitter. The whole time when I write about comic books, I discuss the art and the writing, the coloring, the lettering, the lines. I'm slowly but surely getting more pedantic. One of the things that's most important to me is transparency. I really, really hope I'm unbiased as can be. I see that so many people are writing either about one company, one collective, hell, even one creator, article after article. I wonder how people can read that and trust them. There's specialism, and then there's something else. I want people to trust me, not agree with me necessarily. That extends to the type of comics or news I cover. I had a problem last year where hugely influential comic artists and industries were passing by, and I felt I couldn't write anything because I didn't know enough about them, so it would be dishonest. But I think as long as you're sincere in the attempt, that should convey itself. I'm perhaps too rah-rah comics, too positive. Oh, how much she has changed, huh? How much she has changed. So I want to go back to where we are now in 2021, that this is a girl who didn't want to go to a comic convention because Frank Miller was there, because he wrote a shockingly anti-Muslim, in her eyes, a shockingly anti-Muslim comic book 10 years ago. She wouldn't feel safe, so she won't go. Creates a boycott. Frank Miller gets canceled. And then shortly thereafter on Twitter, she comes forth and says that she's not even going to go, and that talks about people doing the work. It's a typical social justice trope, is everybody's got to do the work. Well, come to find out, it's all just a scam, because this was Bleeding Cool, and shame on you, Bleeding Cool, for playing right along with this hack, this grifter, who basically did nothing more than create a bogus protest, ruining Frank Miller's opportunity to meet with fans so she could increase her Kickstarter campaign. That's right, Kickstarter campaign. This is all about raising money. Our aim with the box is simple: to present a spectrum of work and I don't really want to read this. I don't even want to read it. You know what, folks? I don't. You just Google her name and Kickstarter, and you can look at this abomination of a Kickstarter campaign, and then know that this is what this girl did. This is what she did. She went through all of this so she could raise money to sell people this. This is what they wanted to sell, right? It's how much she's made all this money, $78,000, right? Way past their goals. Look at this. This is what we did. Signed up to get this. There's better pictures down here. What's in the box? Gristle. Look at this art. Yeah, what is this? What am I looking at? This is what this was all about, so she could sell this. This. Yeah, that. That's what this person wanted to get everybody interested in, right? That's what everybody needs to get in. It is disgusting. She is a grifter. She is a fraud. And she hides behind her ethnicity and her religion. And shame on her. Shame on these people that played along and helped all this happen. It's just disgusting. It is. I can't believe this. This. Okay. I don't understand. It's just so small time. I'm really sorry. It really, really is. It's just so small time. And I just don't have any patience for it. I really, really don't. So let me show you this article that somewhat, at least positively, I think it is, maybe a little too late, but Screen Rant at least did this. Frank Miller's best comics. So no one's going to publicly come out. So very few artists have come out to support Frank. This is a list of his best, or I hate pop-up ads, his best comic books. Obviously, some of the stuff that he has done. Obviously, we mentioned Sin City, Dark Knight Master Race, which is like the third in the series. It's like it definitely is further down the list for me. Daredevil, of course, is just absolutely a phenomenal run. Obviously, he saved Daredevil. I mean, it just really is good. Oh, and I forget about this. What a great series! Give Me Liberty is a phenomenal series that DC did. It's the first time I think he worked with it says right here he worked with Dave Gibbons. Great work. Batman Year One is just a classic, literally redefining Batman's origin. It's obviously influential in all of the Batman films, and truly just a great piece of comic book history. Let me make this a little bit smaller so I cannot get rid of this silly pop-up ads. Hard Boiled, which I haven't read in a long time, but look at this. Look at the details, and compare that to what we were just looking at, right? 300, of course, which is just groundbreaking, phenomenal, translated to film so beautifully. Dark Knight Returns, which is the classic game changer, absolutely game-changing project. And then, of course, they give credit to Ronin, which, all right, yeah, it's great. It's kind of overrated compared to Dark Knight Returns, but okay, that's fine. I mean, we could argue both ways. I would say there's probably other issues and books that are equally as good, if not better. But I just want to review that she goes through these accusations. She creates all of this publicity, gets them to say, cancel Frank Miller. He won't go. Then she says she won't go. Meanwhile, all the time, it's about gaining attention for her Kickstarter campaign. No correlation there. And then Bleeding Cool publicizes about her Kickstarter campaign. If we don't say their name, so when just some guy did a video about her, and he doesn't use her name, and I want to use her name, and I want to put her name in the title, and I want to put her name in my YouTube video and the article that I get to write on Tampa Dispatch that we'll be able to put up there, because I want people to Google. So if you do a comic book convention or she's coming, you need to know that she's capable of canceling you. She'll come for you. Scott Snyder, I'm telling you, she is gonna come for you. If it'll benefit her next Kickstarter campaign, she'll come for you. If she'll find something on you, it doesn't matter where you are, how long ago you wrote it. If this crook, criminal, grifting girl hiding behind her religion, her gender, everything, we can't say anything about her. I will. I don't care. She's a fraud. She is an absolute fraud. She did this for money and profit. I wish we could have a better timeline, and I could spend more time like charting exactly when different tweets were made, when the Kickstarter, where it was at in certain timelines. Maybe some other folks can do that, because it's as clear as the writing on the wall what a hack and a joke she is. Shame on her. So support Frank Miller. Go buy a piece of his work. Go buy some of his back issues. Realize what a legend he is. And it's a crying shame. And hopefully he'll come to other conventions and people will stand up to people like her that got him canceled. So that's the video. Hope you get something out of this. Appreciate your time. I'm Pops. If you get a chance, click those bells and buttons below. Support the channel. Thanks for your time.